Hello everyone, I'm Jack Culkin, known on the Gojo bike ride by many names. One most prominently is King George. I'm happy to welcome you to a full recap of the week of pedaling. Gojo 29 Red, White, and U America 250 was a huge success because of great viewers just like you. Joe introduced you to his corporate sponsors in the WNEP backyard and then took to the road to meet you and celebrate America. Each stop was unique. Each stop had fantastic viewers supporting not only Joe and his efforts, but the great caregivers and residents of St. Joseph's Center. In this special, we're going to go back to some of the newscast visits and at the end of each day, enjoy a montage of the many towns in between. Should you want to contribute, the QR code will take you to the still active donation link. We thank you for every dollar donated. Now let's get started. Day one, where else to begin this journey than the city where it all began, Philadelphia. Come along, let's have some fun.
Good morning, Mindy and Nikki. We are on the steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum. Jack is in training right now.
Go Jack, wow.
He is in training for a week of putting up with Joe Snedeker, and he's gonna run these steps later, I think. There is Rocky. These are the iconic steps in Philadelphia where Rocky ran up the steps in his training to get ready for the big boxing match. And Jack has been in training all week. In fact, this has been months of training.
Months of preparation, lots of hard work. When we found out that it was Red, White, and U for Gojo 29, we had to get ready. And that training started all thanks to St. Joe's facility in Dunmore.
Yeah, take a look at some of Jack's training. He has been at work all over the place, right, Jack?
Happening everywhere. We've been hitting the steps to get the cardio up. We've been doing some crunches to, slim down for the event because, the camera does add a little something, especially in these Gojo times. But it has been a fun time getting ready for this event.
And you had to have a little fun with that.
Oh, of course, always.
And we're gonna have a lot of fun as we get ready for this week.
Now look at all this. So we're beginning the big Gojo. Could you believe 29 years?
No.
When I started this, I was barely 30 years old. I was a little punk. I had one newborn child, and it was just a little kind of rebellious ride to New Jersey. And it raised maybe $10,000, $15,000. And now bigger and better every year. And I just want all the viewers to know that I am so appreciative of all these years of support, not only from them and their donations, but just the fact that this is now a summer tradition. And then the sponsors get in, and now we have all this big money going to St. Joe's to help them do all their great work. So, I mean, it's just a win, 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 win. I guess the only non-win is I am 60, and riding this thing every day for 8 hours is not an easy thing, but that's the whole point, right?
That is the point. That's why they all give money. But we are here with Philadelphia in the background.
Isn't that awesome?
And then look what we have over here. Wait.
Wait, what? Is that King George? King, what? Are you trying to get into a little Americana? Is that what's going on here? What is it you want?
The city is growing on me at this time.
It has left you behind. It's not only growing,
it has left me
it is
behind.
Way behind. So please grant me permission to do this ride. Oh, King George.
I'll think about it.
You'll think about it.
Think about it. I mean, I might have to grab a cheesesteak.
Okay.
Heard about that.
Yes.
Catch something they call a Phillies game.
Yes.
Something?
And lose your pomp and your circumstance and just be grounded and cool. Yes, you can do it. We don't like all this here in America. We don't like all that. Ugh. Lose the crown, lose this cape, and we're gonna get you moving. Hey, why do you have my shirt on if you're...
Wait, it's Jack Culkin.
I'm just naturally a supporter of Gojo. I don't need this staff.
From tomorrow, well, really this evening on, it's going to be all winding through the viewing area. So it's going to be awesome to see everyone and meet everyone and get some donations and support for St. Joe's.
And by winding through the viewing area, he's getting all the way to Clinton County at some point,
Yeah.
Snyder County, Wyoming County, all over the place.
Oh yeah, because if it were just a straight jaunt, I can get from here to Scranton in one day. We've done that before in
But
the
we
past.
need you to do it for a whole week.
We need to go through and meet all the viewers and get their support and donations. So
Remember to donate. Go to WNEP.com. You can help St. Joseph's Center. Sister Mary Alice is right down there with the lovely Dawn.
The girls are talking. My wife's down there, and they're all
And we're going to talk to Sister Mary Alice and so much more. Beautiful start in Philadelphia. We'll send it back to you, too.
And wait, you have to put the king bit on. It's not over yet.
You
so
took it off
No,
me.
we're ready
King
for more. We have
George,
to do
put
this
on
all
your
over.
crown. All
gotta
right,
play
they're
the
having a
bad
good
guy.
time. They're having a great time. All right, thank you guys.
We're doing good here. We're at a very historic place in the Continental Army's history, and that's kind of part of the reason that we're on this bike ride in the first place. We're doing a lot of historic stops outside of the region here on the first day, and then throughout the region as we get back into the viewing area over the next couple of days. And the man who's taking us to all of those historic stops is the one, the only, the GOAT, as he's been called.
Yeah, but I'm just taking this in because you and that wig against the arch, oh man, it's beautiful. I don't know if any of you have been here. I have been to Valley Forge a million times, but I've never gone here. Just show that arch. I mean, that's beautiful. So it's a great memorial, and there's a beautiful park, and it goes with the 250th theme, red, white, and you, baby. So that's the color, that's the whole scheme here, and I'll keep biking today. Heading north, we're gonna come back into the WNP viewing area this evening.
Yes, Stacy, there is definitely a crowd that is gathering here and waiting for Joe, and he is going to be here in a little bit. He's still working his way up from the Lehigh Valley, officially entering the WNEP viewing area. So we're not only on a Go Joe tour, we're on a history tour, and it's always special when you see 1776 at a community in our area. Weissport dates back to the 1750s. 1776, when they drilled the first well at the fort here, they got water, and a community followed in memory of Jacob Wise, who this community is named after.
As you said, we're here in Bowmanstown where we have a wonderful crowd to welcome us here for Go Joe 29. We're officially back in the viewing area.
And these kind people could have been doing a million things today, but they chose to come here and help us, so we appreciate that.
And guess who I see? Look who's coming down the street into Weissport. Joe. Welcome to Weissport. Joe Snedeker wrapping up day one of Go Joe 29.
I hear bells! The British
It's the Liberty Bell.
The British are coming!
How you doing?
So, this is great. All these fine people came out here. Awesome. Now, are we doing live news right now or no?
We're on TV.
This is good. So, here we are in Weissport. Much appreciated that you came out. You could have been doing a million other things, right? But you came out to support a great cause, despite the king being here.
No more royalty.
No more royalty. So, this is awesome.
No royalty.
Give him that staff back. Sister Mary Alice, come on over.
Come on over.
So, again, I'm always amazed. 29 years, I'm an old man. These people keep coming out for us. This is awesome.
They love to see you arrive. They love to see you sweat and suffer. A lot of people do enjoy that.
Is that what it is? Sweat and suffer?
Yes.
That's right.
And
If I dropped out of an airplane, it wouldn't be
right. It's
anything
interesting,
spectacular.
but we really do appreciate all the community support. Lots of people came to make donations.
Yeah.
Sizable donations. This organization did a fundraiser. Lots of generosity. People opening their wallets, opening their hearts to the mission of St. Joe's, and we're grateful to you for bringing everybody together.
Yeah, and remember, not only are we helping St. Joe's out, but remember, this is the 250th celebration that we're trying to work in some fun.
Right.
So we started out in Philly, the birthplace of our country, this morning, and now we're in the viewing area. So from here on out, John Meyer, we're in the viewing area.
Do you know who stood right here in 1750
Whoa,
something?
whoa, you have some history for me? Right
Benjamin Franklin, right here,
Great.
built
here.
a
You hear that, George?
He built a fort right over there.
True story?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Benjamin Franklin himself.
So, Georgie, did you hear that? Franklin, free people, no, your majesty, no excessive taxation.
Yeah, I've been decaped and decrowned. What is this? Oh no, he's good. Ow!
We better send it back to you, Melissa and Stacy.
Bye.
Did I hurt you? It was just a bit.
It was a bit.
Fabulous acting, everyone.
Thank you
Had
so
a great
much,
time.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Day one of Go Joe 29 ended here in Carbon County at Weissport Borough Park, but it started a lot earlier in the day in the city that started America. A 5 a.m. start at the Philadelphia Museum of Art saw anticipation build for the beginning of Go Joe 29. Myself, John Meyer, Sister Mary Alice, and of course Joe spent the morning detailing the route and talking about the importance of St. Joseph's Center, all while having a little fun.
There will be no riding on my watch.
But all the kidding and King George aside, it was time to get to work as Joe began pedaling, all to raise money for St. Joe's.
I always love hearing the stories of how St. Joseph's Center has impacted people. So it could be that they've had a personal experience in their family by reputation, and also through the WNEP telethon that people have been able to see the transformative work of St. Joseph's Center and how they relate to that.
Joe would work his way through the woods along the Schuylkill River Trail before stopping for a quick history lesson at Valley Forge Historic Site in Montgomery County. With some sustenance from a classic Philly cheesesteak, it was back on the bike for Joe. We'd catch him next in Allentown, where his bell would be rung after learning about the city's role in the safekeeping of what we know today as the Liberty Bell. A big crowd welcomed Joe to Bowmanstown for the last leg of his journey. Donations poured in and were doubled, thanks to the William E. Chatlow's Foundation. The last planned stop for his day was at Weissport Borough Park, where a large crowd chanted his name and many generous donations were made to support St. Joseph's Center. More historical stops are on the way as we continue pedaling through the viewing area for Go Joe 29, the Red, White, and U Tour. We'll see you for day 2 in Pottsville. Jack Culkin, Newswatch 16. Tuesday brought with it the first concerning weather of the week. Storms lurked around the viewing area and shared some of its raindrops with us. But as you can imagine, it didn't stop the Crusader for children.
Because I want to just show this. Come on over here, Tim. Look at this. So when you think about, remember, this is about 250 for our country. Yuengling started like 50 years after the Constitution was signed. So America's oldest brewery, here's the family line, and we have this guy right here that's going to be with us. So stick around for that. Show a little respect for the real king, Dick Yuengling. Come on over, man. Good to see you. Good to be seen. And I love how you put the Go Joe shirt on. Ultimate in support.
Well, you gave me a free shirt, now wear it.
Now you know that you're our hero. I just want to let you know that we talk about you.
Seriously, our hero.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
You should set your standards higher.
All right, we're here because your brewery goes back about as far back as our country.
Almost as far as the country. It's only 29 years older than or younger than the Declaration of Independence.
that's
that
nuts.
wasn't signed until 1800.
Yeah, so think about that. So
It's a freak.
Here.
It's an absolute freak.
And we showed all the generations of Yuengling. So
And we have so much fun showing the camera here at Yuengling every morning and talking about what you might be up to that morning here at the brewery. So.
I hear it from everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Snedeker was talking about you. The people were here until you brought this camera and the announcer here. Everybody's camera shy.
They all left.
I don't know what happened to them.
well, wait, I hear something. Mindy, Nikki, I hear something. Wait. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Come on out! Come on out!
They're in the beer keg. We've tapped.
Oh my God, it's hot and steamy in there, isn't it?
We have tapped the keg at Yuengling.
Yes, all right, Sister Mary.
And they just sisters in there too. They just keep coming.
Oh, King
Even King George.
We don't like royalty. Stay in there, you jerk. All right, so yeah, thanks everybody for coming out to support a good cause.
Sister Mary Alice has joined us here. It is an exciting day. Joe is just mere blocks away as this awesome crowd here in Summit Hill has come out to celebrate Go Joe 29 to help raise money for St. Joe's. That's been a huge part of our day, and I think it's that time. I see the police lights, and I see Joe Snedeker! Joe started his morning in Pottsville at the Yuengling Brewery. He then went on through several communities in Schuylkill County, and now he's here just across the border in Summit Hill in Carbon County as he comes in adored by all of these wonderful fans. Joe, this way! Joe! Joe! He's lost in this crowd. Lost in the crowd. Joe.
I want to sneak in between the pretty girls.
We're live TV right now, baby.
Yeah. So, biking up a hill in the rain, does it get much worse than that? But look at all these people who came out on a cloudy, rainy day. This is awesome.
And
Thank
Joe,
you, guys.
a lot of these people have donated, and that's why we're a little tight on time, so we want to bring you in here.
Ooh, we're getting right to it, baby.
I'd like to thank you, WNEP and St. Joe's, for coming to Summit Hill.
Ooh.
And also I'd like all the residents that came out and donated. We will be donating $1,146 to your organization.
That's awesome.
Joe's doing a little bit of complaining about the weather.
Kurt needs to shut up. We're standing out here in the rain waiting 15 minutes. Come on, man. The people of Summit Hill have come out, so we appreciate that. But we're in one of those showers. It was a wet and hilly ride to get here, but we appreciate all the support. So thanks everyone for coming out. You know, we appreciate that.
Yeah, I am driving. I get to, tough it out in my air-conditioned car.
Yeah, Rennie, if you're listening, the hill to get here is torture, isn't it? Yeah. I saw him in his car, in his air conditioning. The king was distraught coming up the hill, and I had to pedal up that thing.
Couldn't be bothered with this man and his little bike.
That's on top of 25 miles to start the day. And Rennie, I also caught him looking at himself in the mirror with the king outfit on.
All morning long.
All morning long.
How do you think I stay this good looking? Okay.
I kid, he's awesome, and we're having a good time here.
Anticipation is building as we wait for our morning meteorologist to bike his way into Mount Carmel.
It sure is. A big crowd is ready to welcome Joe to Town Park. We're checking in again with News Watch 16's John Meyer and Jack Culkin, or as we've been saying, the king himself.
Yes, the king himself and the real king of this ride. Sorry. Joe Snedeker. We are hearing sirens galore. That is usually a good sign that someone pretty important is arriving, and
Here he is.
He is.
Just a 60-year-old in spandex making his way here. The band, the cheerleaders, the environment surrounding Go Joe 29.
What a scene in Mount Carmel as he rides into the band. Oh, this is awesome.
I thought Mount Carmel might be sick of me by now, but I guess not.
I guess not. What a
Look at the crowd here.
Or is this for the king? I don't know.
It's for you.
Oh, this is awesome. Look at this. Come on, right? Over the top, man. Over the top. Year after year.
You know Mount Carmel. This community goes all out for everything. And they're doing it for you in St. Joseph's
And
Center.
even on a rainy day like today, in and out of the showers, clouds, but look at this. They're bringing the sunshine, baby.
we were here and it was pouring and the cheerleaders were cheering with us.
This is awesome, right? They're letting their soul shine today. This is awesome.
How was your day?
Yeah, good. Well, as King Charles George rather knows.
Whatever he is.
Yeah, it was a struggle with the rain and the wet roads. You get grit all over you, but the communities came out. The vibe was there. Sister Mary Alice was by my side all day. We had to wait out the rain a couple times, but overall it was an awesome day. Day 2 was success.
And you knew days ago this was going to be the one day that there'd be issues.
Tuesday, but the rest of the week looks great. So especially towards Thursday and Friday, it's going to be perfect. Low humidity will make up for lost time today, but look at this.
And we've been talking about on the air throughout the day is that when the coal region comes out, the heart and soul of this area is just amazing.
They really are. And whoa! The music stops. Hey, thanks everyone. I said I thought you'd be sick of me by now. Every year, right? But you're always here for me. I appreciate it. Warm welcome and supporting a great cause. You guys are the best. Come on. Give yourselves a round of applause, baby. Come on. Woo! And what do you think about this whole thing, King? I mean, are you impressed?
I think this is pretty amazing, but we're going to see more of this amazement coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah, we're coming back.
He has changed his personality in the last 6 hours. What is this new you?
You'll find out coming up on News Watch 16 at 6.
What a welcome to Mount Carmel, Stacey.
Mount Carmel goes big.
Oh, yes, they do.
What a great
showed
show.
up. Thanks so much, guys.
We are a big crowd gathered here. It has been quite a scene here, Jack.
It is such a big crowd.
King George!
For such a little man and his little bike and his little trip.
I love the bit. Thank
King
you.
George, aren't you learning though the American
lighten up
spirit?
already.
It defeats all that
I had
royalty stuff.
pierogies in Shenandoah. I had
Isn't it great
some
to be an American?
Yingling with Dick
Doesn't it
this
feel
morning.
great?
It's a pretty good feeling.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Yes,
feeling.
the uptightness, the pretentiousness, lose it all.
I'm getting loose.
Yeah, loosen
I'm
up,
getting
baby.
loose.
For the rest
Look
of the
for
week.
this van because it's got the merchandise.
There's merch in here for sale.
And
It's gonna
the
be all over the
donations
place,
go
so,
here.
I mean,
Oh, wait.
King George, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get my taxes.
We don't tax charity dollars.
No,
here in
we
America.
don't.
Those kings, you can't trust.
We gotta teach this king. Enough of him. We're gonna send it back to you, Scott.
All right, great job today. We will see you tomorrow.
Day 2 of Go Joe started in Pottsville and wrapped up in Mount Carmel, but it's the stops in between that really saw all the fundraising efforts and fun come out for St. Joseph Center. Joe, John, and King George got to meet the king of the Yingling Lager Empire, Dick Yingling, and his cast of supporters in Pottsville. The crew spent hours messing around.
My goodness, come on out!
They're in the beer keg.
And cashing checks, all for St. Joe's.
I enjoy helping people, and that's a great center, and the time and effort that your TV station and Joe Snedeker, yourself, and everybody else puts into the riding a bicycle in this. It's a lot of work. So the least I can do is give them a nice check.
The early morning rain subsided, and Joe was dropped off at Deer Lake, the former training camp for Muhammad Ali, after handing King George his second loss of his professional career. This rebel bike rider put the pedal to the pavement. Joe stopped in Orwigsburg, picked up a couple checks in New Ringgold, and got some dessert at Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy. He joined some fellow abolitionists in Tamaqua outside the St. Luke's Primary Care Center before heading to Summit Hill, where despite the weather, dozens showed out to support his efforts. Joe's travels took him to several communities in a short time span. Many were eager to donate. In Shenandoah, Joe was stopped as rain started to come down, but in the meantime, some pierogies from Mrs. T's kept him occupied. It was back on the road through Gilberton, where the weather could not stop some crowds. The same could be said for Girardville, as roads were closed to welcome Joe. In Ashland, we stopped by the Mother's Memorial, the statue, looking over Joe as he pushed through his last stop at Mount Carmel Town Park, where donations, much like the rain throughout the day, poured in for St. Joe's. With Day 2 wrapping up, we're looking ahead to Day 3 as Joe plans to bike across the western part of our viewing area. Well, we are just getting started. Stay with us. There are plenty of miles to pedal. Joe and his band of characters return after this short message. Welcome back to Go Joe 29, Red, White, and You. America 250, I'm Jack Culkin. Before we laced up our biking shoes, we saw a moving reenactment of Washington's crossing of the Delaware with a twist. Here's Day 3. We rewrote history on the start of Day 3 of Go Joe 29 as George Washington and a friendly bear decided to cross the Susquehanna River to get to Jacob Gearhart Park to support Joe and everyone who gathered with him. From there, it was a history lesson in the Mooresburg one-room schoolhouse. We learned about a typewriter, a very old bike, and the Central Susquehanna Hammers, who, together, helped Joe start his Day 3 of riding. A quick stop by the American Legion post number 841 in Montandon saw the donations come in, which were doubled thanks to the William E. Chatlos Foundation. Rainy skies rolled in as we entered Lewisburg. Thankfully, some shelter at the farmer's market gave Joe a chance to rest, and then saw him continue his journey. A stop in Mifflinburg took us to the Buggy Museum, where Joe got an experience on how people used to travel long before his bike was ever made. Our noon live shot took us to Middleburg,
Outside the Snyder County Courthouse, hundreds of people gathered and donations came in for St. Joseph's Center. In New Berlin, a crowd was gathered outside the old Union County Courthouse. Joe took lots of pictures and lots of donations came in. A quick detour staying in New Berlin saw us meet up with one of GoJo's biggest fans and biggest donors. Gregory Fleck has been a part of the celebrations and donation efforts of GoJo for more than a decade. This year, he crossed the $40,000 mark, raising thousands for those in need.
Yes, I raised over $7,500 for St. Joseph's Center.
And everyone is always willing to pitch in and fundraise and donate, all for Gregory and for Gregory's cause of St. Joseph's Center.
Joe traveled through the countryside to Kratzerville, where he stopped at the fire company to see all of his fans take some pictures and gather up lots of donations. It was back to school for GoJo in Penn Township as he took a seat to learn in the old Herman School, a classroom that was filled with his fans. Later in the day, we stopped in Northumberland at the Joseph Priestley House, where fans were eager to see Joe as he was planning to wrap up his day. A quick stop at Fort Augusta in Sunbury gave Joe the last bit of energy he needed to wrap up at Cameron Park, another successful day of biking for St. Joseph's Center.
People have been gathered here for 2 hours now. There's been all kinds of fun activities going on and everything like that. Of course, here to support St. Joseph's Center.
And this is capping off what has been a really fun day, but a lot of miles for Joe. I think we're just below 60 miles today. So it's one of his longer runs, and it's about to come to an end here, John.
And his tour through the heart of the central Susquehanna Valley is coming to an end because here comes Joe Snedeker. Let's show him a Sunbury, Northumberland County welcome.
Setting up the catwalk for the rock star as he comes down. All of the fans of GoJo 29 and Joe Snedeker here in Sunbury tonight, welcoming him after a long day of riding.
Welcome to Sunbury.
What's with Sunbury, the biggest crowd ever?
Isn't this awesome?
Are you expecting someone else? I feel like it's a letdown now, just me. Is there someone coming behind me? Is Elvis behind me?
I think it's just you.
It's just me. Maybe they're looking for you.
They're not. I've been here and they've been waiting for you.
Like we always say, it's the trifecta. We've got the bike ride, St. Joe's, and community, and we're bringing it all together. So this is what it's all about.
And we've been seeing the generosity, as you've seen all over the place with people giving donations. Kaylee over here raised $3,000.
And that's $6,020.
Yeah, but that's doubled because it gets matched.
By the William E. Chatlos Foundation, something we've seen across the area so far today.
Yeah, so again, we're bringing community together. We're having fun, which is why you're dressed up like this. If you're not having fun in life, you ain't living.
Exactly.
Hard work on the bike, but I'm not going to emphasize that. It was a long day riding, but if it weren't something challenging, what would be the purpose, right?
Nothing.
So I hope it rips at people's hearts. They donate, they support this great cause, and St. Joe's benefits, and we have a nice bike ride. 29 years in the making. Come on, I'm a 60-year-old man. Look at me. Look at these bags. Look at these crow's feet. You think this is easy? It's not, but it's all worth it.
Joe is about to fire a cannon.
Because remember, this is about a little history 250. Of course, we're serving St. Joe's, the bike ride, raising money, but we're having a little fun too. And I'm told I'm the first person in spandex to fire a cannon.
Imagine that.
All right, so ready to, are we doing this now?
Should we?
Ready?
Yeah.
Should it?
Yeah, we're going to back out of the way.
Should we get a chant going from the crowd first?
Ready, everyone, go, Joe!
Go, Joe! Go, Joe! Go, Joe!
So they were explaining to me before, it fires rounds that are much more powerful, but they were a little concerned.
Oh, he's concerned. What happened? You're looking around.
No, I was trying to find you a tube to give yours a suit.
Oh,
okay. I thought I ruined
something.
It.
Cheers.
Oh, that's all right. Excellent.
So they were a little concerned if they did it with the power it has, the courthouse windows, those windows would shatter. So.
But remember, this is American history here. So we're trying to have a little 250. Remember, it was Summer the Mustache, Summer the Chicken, Summer the Inflatables. This year, 250. But the bike ride in St. Joe's is the primary point here.
There is a lot of great
A lot of
history out here.
A ton of stuff that I didn't know. I didn't get that in high school in the history
No, it's
textbooks.
something.
We're learning it on the road.
And you know, this is supposed to be the time my On the Pennsylvania Road segment is airing. I've recorded a bunch out here just because it's great country full of great stories.
And what I learned is what a pompous jerk King George was. And I want you to go back to him tomorrow.
We will see.
Tomorrow,
You
I
don't
want
like
you to
these fake buttons?
No,
Yeah, you don't like
I want the,
my fake shirt that's not there.
I want the king, the staff.
We'll send it back to you, Scott.
Halfway through the ride, we've already met thousands of great viewers and supporters of St. Joe's. We'll step away for a second and rejoin the fun right after this. Welcome back to Go Joe 29, Red, White, and You, America 250. I'm Jack Culkin. It's day 4 of the ride, a Thursday, and we all got to sleep in just a little bit. Our ride picks up around 8:30 a.m. and away we go.
Thursday saw the Go Joe crew sleep in a little bit before heading to Turbitville Community Park train station, where day 4 got underway. Hundreds cheered Joe's name as he set off to raise money for St. Joe's. He would make a quick stop at Fort Freeland Farm, also in Turbitville, where Randy Watt, or Johnny Appleseed, would give Joe a quick history lesson and also play into some of his antics.
But sometimes it works, and I can't figure it out why.
At the Montgomery River Field Complex, a small but excited crowd welcomed Joe, handed over donations to St. Joe's, and even got some free swag to take home and remember the day. Outside the Muncie Historical Society, fans lined the streets as Joe made his way to town. The crowd would give him a much-needed boost to send him on his way to the midpoint of the day.
Montoursville in Lycoming County. That's where we find the Go Joe crew live right now. Hi, guys. Hi, John.
Oh, Rennie, what a scene in Montoursville today. We have the band rocking out, we have the cheerleaders, and we have so many people, and we are about to have Joe Snedeker. He is coming down the road right now in Montoursville, and Jack, he couldn't have a more perfect weather to arrive right here now.
John, it's a beautiful day and a beautiful way to hit the midpoint of Go Joe 29, day 4. It's been wonderful traveling through the area, and now we're hitting Montoursville, where a giant crowd is welcoming Joe right now.
What a scene!
Too many people! You're too kind! Look at this, huh?
Seriously, look at this scene. The band, the cheerleaders, the crowd. Just amazing.
Hey, thanks for making us feel so welcome and supporting the cause. This is awesome, right?
Joe, so many donations coming in and lots of taxes without representation,
shut
Joe.
up, King Joe.
Lots
George
of
still at it?
taxes.
So the perfect day, sun, low humidity, great crowd supporting the effort, and just a beautiful time here in Montoursville. As King George would say, give me your speech.
He's just a little man on a little bike, driving through these little communities.
In this little country.
In this little country.
So you've seen though, Turbitville had a big crowd
Yeah.
all along the way this morning, and now look at this.
Yeah, so again, we're combining 250, a celebration of our country, and of course, having a little fun with that. That's why we have King George. But St. Joe's is the main purpose and cause, and we have Riley over here collecting. We have swag for sale, make donations, and I'm sure a lot of folks already have. And Red, White, and You, baby, community. So it's all here. The trifecta is here and alive, so this is great.
The team would stop for a quick lunch at the Newberry Sub Shop, where a surprise encounter with the owner would land St. Joe's a $200 check that quickly turned into $400, thanks to the William E. Chatlos Foundation partnership. Joe would find some fellow brethren and sisters at the Newberry Independent Club, also called the Polish Club, where a $5,000 donation was handed over. Joe crossed the bridge into Lock Haven, where hundreds of people welcomed him with open arms and lots of donations to support St. Joe's. The meteorologist even got to become a judge, announcing the winner of a local contest. Joe took off down the street to the Piper Aviation Museum, where he got to see the vehicles of the sky before getting back on the road to finish his Day 4 ride. In Woolwich, Joe became an honorary member of the volunteer fire department and also learned about the Woolwich history of the area before continuing on to the last few stops of his day. Fans gathered along the main street through Avis, literally throwing money at Joe, pushing him forward to finish the job for St. Joe's. Once in Jersey Shore, Joe took a quick break at the Tyadotten Elm site, where he learned about the history of the area's search for independence, a conversation that didn't sit too well with King George, but it was a piece of history that got Joe motivated to finish his day.
You've seen how we've been doing history all along the way. Well, look who I found in Jersey Shore. Abe Lincoln himself, and a baby. Who's this?
This is our spoiled Scarlet.
This is Michael Kinney. You dress as Abe quite a bit and go around to historic events all over the place.
Yes, it's important to keep history alive, and this is a great event, and what Joe is doing is a great community event here at Jersey Shore.
And you must love that he's also bringing history to life as he goes around.
Yes, as America celebrates 250, the history is very important.
You know, Jack Culkin was dressing as George Washington. I think you've pulled this off even better, and you've got a little cute addition with you too. You're so cute. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We have these girls in costume. They were part of the Jersey Shore 200 bicentennial celebration on the float. How was that? You were in the parade? Was that fun?
Was that fun? Say yes.
Yes, it was. And we have Queen Tyadotten who's here.
Celebration, Jersey Shore Town Meeting celebration. We pick a queen
Which is
every
awesome.
year.
And most importantly, we have a lot of people because Jersey Shore is a strong community, and we are seeing that tonight with all the people that are here.
He pulled into downtown Jersey Shore outside of Borough Hall, where hundreds of people had come together to support him, the mission behind St. Joe's and Go Joe 29.
What a party in Jersey Shore. Thanks for showing us around, John.
You may think that with 4 days wrapped up, we just have our eyes set on the finish line. We have a lot more towns and people to visit before we get there. The dollars of support keep coming in for the kids of St. Joe's. Stay with us. Welcome back to Go Joe 29, Red, White, and You, America 250. I'm Jack Culkin. I'm always amazed by the true caring and support of the great people in our viewing area. On our last day of Go Joe 29, you did not disappoint. Here's a look at how we got to the telethon.
Go Joe 29 is winding down, and on day 5, the crew started in Tunkhannock. Met by the district attorney, Joe Peterson, we are welcomed with a large crowd of many volunteers who, in honor of our nation's 250th anniversary, decided to do 250 good deeds, which includes volunteering time at St. Joseph's Center. A donation in honor of District Attorney Peters' mother was also made, starting off our day with thousands of dollars. From there, Joe was taken to Lake Winola, where the Canoe Club joined in on the giving. Little Jack Kelly garnered up lots of bucks as other community groups donated thousands to St. Joseph's Center as Joe put on his gear and put the pedals to the metal. A stop in Factoryville would highlight one of the area's greatest athletes, Christy Mathewson, and his Big Six promise that helped Joe continue on his day. The crew would get a little bit of a breather in Joe's stomping grounds at noon as he rode into Carbondale.
Best pizza, best wings, concerts, music every week, and you're killing it, buddy.
Thank you. Well, great people like you that come.
Yeah, and how much money have you raised? In addition to the $7,500, we have
all the boys from his friends and his childhood that still like him.
There it is.
$10,000.
Oh, come on. So if you're looking for something to do or something to eat, just check out AJ's in Carbondale. It's awesome.
Tell you what, the king is looking for something to eat right
Oh, yeah,
now.
so grab a handful of pierogies. You ready? Who can beat who? How many pierogies could you eat in 30 seconds? Dan, do you have the stop clock?
19.
I'm going 19.
Get set.
Get set.
Go.
Go. There's one pierogi. The king is in. The king is on. Okay, go. Are we 10 seconds in? Are we 15 seconds in? 3 pierogies. King, what do you want? One. Who knows the Heimlich maneuver? Just in case.
30 seconds.
I think Jose is the winner.
I like to savor my food.
Oh, you like to savor them? I know royalty. He doesn't know what commoner food is.
We have a lot more excitement to come. Joe, send us back. Send us back to Rennie here. Oh, he's hungry now, Rennie. We're going to send it back to you.
From Carbondale.
All right, you never know what to expect when you got Joe and a leprechaun.
After learning a little history about one of Lackawanna County's most interesting communities, Joe headed down to Old Forge, where he learned how to play bocce ball at Arcaro and Janelle's, and also snack on some pizza while taking in thousands of dollars in donations. It was a quick stop at the Duryea Borough Hall, but the crowd was loud, and money was raised to help Joe in his efforts to benefit St. Joseph Center. While school may not be in session, students, faculty, and lots of fans gathered at Wyoming Area Catholic School to celebrate Joe and his accomplishments so far. The first stop in 40 Fort took Joe and King George to the Nathan Dennison House. A big win here was for King George and Britain. A history lesson not really in the Americans' favor was learned, but that didn't stop Joe from battling back and continuing on his Gojo journey. Staying in 40 Fort, a visit to the Cancer Wellness Center of NEPA reminded riders, people, and fans that living a healthy lifestyle is crucial, especially when you're a 60-year-old man in spandex biking miles and miles every day. A stop in Wesley Village brought Joe back to a lot of friends from years past. This was their largest fundraising effort so far, and thanks to the William E. Chatlos Foundation, their $5,700 plus donation now looked like $11,400. But one of the biggest and exciting stops of the trip was at Avoca Borough Hall. While Joe was feeling the heat from the beautiful weather that we had seen in the second half of the week, he powered through onto Scranton, where a stop at the Trip House would also be a learning moment for Joe.
Then it was off to the festival telethon. While the dedicated waited, a surprise development. King George or King Jack arrived to prepare his crowd.
Nice to see that. And these ladies are amazing. They are bedazzled, their t-shirts, and so cool. They look awesome. Oh, wait. We see something out in the yard there. It looks like King George.
King George has arrived. To all his adoring subjects, he has only a few minutes before Joe Snedeker comes along and defeats King George once and for all. How you doing, buddy?
Stacy, it has been a day.
It has been a week.
It's been a very long week.
Yeah.
The throat hurts. We're not losing the voice.
Are you
this time.
are you parched?
A little bit.
A little parched.
A little parched.
It's been difficult, keeping up with that old man in spandex.
I mean, if I have to hear about a 60-year-old man in spandex one more time riding his little bike, I'm going to lose it.
Your reign is coming to an end, whether you like it or not. So why don't you do a little Miss America walk around and to all of your subjects?
Miss America walk. I don't know if that's my type.
There he goes, everybody. He had the tough job all week of following Joe around northeastern and central Pennsylvania, collecting all those donations for Gojo 29, and he is finally here. And that also means, of course, that Joe is not far behind.
No worries though, Joe was close behind, replaced by Thomas Jefferson.
I think it is time.
Go Joe! Go Joe! Go Joe! Go Joe! Go Joe! Go Joe!
Wait, here he comes.
Go Joe, good man. Thomas Jefferson, good man.
Joe Snedeker, arriving back as a member of the Continental Army.
Is this
Gojo 29 wrapping up
Here he is.
in epic fashion.
Can I get the first big sweaty hug?
Oh, welcome back.
Joe fell down 3 blocks back, and I am completing the ride. Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson is going to complete the Gojo 29.
Is it time to finally defeat King George
Is he even,
and all he stands
he's
for?
Here. He's pompous as ever. He is here. Could you hold this method of transportation? Well.
Joe Snedeker, the little bike man, with his little country and his little cities, his little towns, and your little blue bike.
Wow.
You think you can just ride in here and upstage King George? I think I'm okay with that.
Oh,
He's Joe Washington. After a week of contrast, intimidation, ruthlessness, you're giving in to the greatness of community.
I am giving in
and charity.
I am giving into everything that you have mentioned and the wonderful place that is St. Joseph Center.
Whoa! Baby!
And I think it's time to remove the crown and possibly pass it along to someone else. Not you, Joe. Somebody who believes that St. Joe's is the greatest organization,
Sister Mary Alice,
in the entire world.
Sister Mary Alice?
I don't think Sister Mary Alice will take my crown.
The Queen has to be crowned. Come on over. We have to crown the Queen. Come on, sister. Come on.
No crown for Sister Mary Alice. But maybe I'll kneel for Queen Mary Alice. I am forgiven. But maybe some bigger plans are in store for my crown. You'll have to tune in tomorrow night.
Oh, part 2.
Oh.
All right. So another great crowd. I just want to thank everyone for showing up all week long, bridging that gap between the community and 250 and a great charity, and it meant a lot to me.
You just never know, do you? A special thanks goes out to all of those who were able to donate to Gojo 29 as part of the driving force. Joe got the grand totals from his granddaddy sponsors.
We're going to start with a crafty decorator. You've been with us for several years now. Third year. And tell us how you raise the money.
So I have a Facebook page called The Crafty.
End of story.
Because I'm crafty.
No, I'm just kidding.
So I do live crafts on there, and then we auction off my crafts to raise money for St. Joseph Center. So it's all the followers, really, who donate the money.
Deal.
She really is.
She's a big deal.
Well,
she doesn't want to say it, but she's a big deal.
You have a lot of followers.
Yeah, you're a big deal.
Right?
250,000.
Yeah, she's
doing a big deal.
Social big deal.
You're making me turn red. So they're the ones who really give the money.
And do you have an amount?
$8,970.
Wow, that is awesome. Thanks to you, we're going to move down. Anthony and Jeremy, did you two raise money?
No, but we're presenting a check. And by the way, it is way past my bedtime. I'll be on tomorrow morning. So.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for being with us. So what this is?
No whining.
This is Wayne County Ready Mix. They don't have their representatives here, but they're always big supporters. Awesome people, humble. What do they have for us? Yes.
2, 1.
$25,000 from Wayne County Ready Mix.
Doubled. Let's not forget that.
So this is $50,000.
Very generous from Wayne County Ready Mix. They've been a great sponsor of ours for many years, and the reason is, Jeremy knows now.
Yeah, because Joe says it's a great day to pour concrete in the morning.
Saying that forever.
That's why they're.
And if you need a pour, call Wayne County Ready Mix.
Amazing amount there. All right, so now we're talking iced coffee. Northeastern and Central Pennsylvania went out and bought a lot of iced coffee, and $1 from every one of those is going to St. Joseph Center. So the grand total of iced coffee from Dunkin' is $27,500. That's a lot of iced coffee.
Yep. And we appreciate all those people who just did that. Got one for $1 and it all went to this. So awesome.
A very caffeinated Northeastern.
I know when you think that $1, that's a lot of people in Northeastern Central Pennsylvania who enjoyed iced coffee last week.
Thank you, Duncan, for being involved for all.
Of course, yeah, we love being a part of it.
They get up early and come in the backyard.
Yeah.
We always have fun when you come visit the backyard too. And let's move on. The Coopers. How are you all doing?
Great.
All right, so Cooper Seafood, every year you have an anniversary week and you do throwback pricing, which are amazing prices, by the way, and amazing food, of course. You do raffles, there's a trip that's auctioned off, all that, and then the proceeds get donated here. And every year the number is just incredible. So are we ready?
Yeah.
We're ready.
All right. Cooper Seafood is donating to St. Joseph Center $41,000. $41,000, and it's doubled, so it's really $82,000.
Wow.
Because it's matched by the Chatless Foundation, so great. How impressive. That's awesome. Why do this?
St. Joseph's.
We love St. Joseph's,
Yes,
yeah. We love Joe and you guys. It's like wonderful. Everything's great. We really
thank you very much. And of course, this is your customers too. That really,
yes, for sure.
And you see the loyalty of them and the loyalty of all of you to St. Joseph Center. It's just amazing. Joe, 41 grand.
Sure. Amazing. I love these guys. Come on, I'm with my family.
Yeah, Joe just wants to go over and visit with everyone over there. And Joe has something to give the Coopers. We saw Joe earlier. Mindy, come on in.
That's right. Joe Sharp visited Cooper's restaurant and then made this beautiful painting. And you saw that in the story we did. And he wanted to say thank you to Cooper's.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And he says thank you. Very nice. Thank you so much. Very nice job, Joe. Way to go.
Then, after many, many miles, the task at hand was completed. Every penny donated was counted and doubled by the William E. Chatlos match. Joe and Sister Mary Alice were floored by all your support.
A week of traveling from Philadelphia all the way through northeastern and central Pennsylvania. An amazing ride, an amazing generosity, and now we get to see.
Now we're going to flip it over so you can see $1,042,916.39. Over $1 million, sister.
Raised, and a lot of effort. It's not that it just happened. It's been a tremendous amount of effort. Everyone putting in a contribution, saying this is what I can give. Lots of events held on our behalf. We're just tremendously grateful. This is incredible.
This is incredible.
And this is Joe, years and years ago, just wanting to do something to help, getting on a bike 29 years ago. And it has turned into now $1 million effort.
Amazing.
And it's so nice when you're out on the riding, you just see it happening.
You know, our mission is to help everybody reach for their greatest potential, and I think the people who donate experience that too. This is their potential, this is their way of helping the cause, and so much great things happen. I'm so grateful to WNEP, I mean, your management, all of the people who prepared the route. I mean, it was carefully prepared so that we can experience the best of northeastern and central Pennsylvania. So many interesting stories.
It was an incredible week. It's an incredible effort. And Jack, you were along for the route too. Just amazing.
It was an unbelievable experience that we got to be a part of. Getting out there on the road, just visiting all of these areas and seeing the generosity that comes along with it. There's no place else in the world like it.
And Sister was just saying she appreciates WNEP's commitment. We have Ed Hart, our general manager, here, and it's just been a wonderful effort.
Unbelievable. This is what happens, Mindy, when you have a great group of people and supporting a tremendous cause backed by all the communities that we serve in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Just another reason why we believe the best place to live and play and work is northeastern and central Pennsylvania. We're so proud to serve everybody.
Ditto. I agree.
This is 3 years now where we're talking about this kind of number.
It's overwhelming, truly, to receive this kind of, and to begin to think about all the ways, and think of the people, the smiles that we see at St. Joseph Center, to know the ways that we can impact people's lives. It's really wonderful.
And we know that those of you at home, that you see this number and know that you were part of something. And that's got to feel pretty special, that you're part of Go Joe. It's not just a guy on a bike.
No,
He says
it's
that
so
all the
much
time.
more than that.
And Joe is so humble about that. He just realizes he is a gift of being able to cycle the way he does, and he's using it to raise something like this. But really, he's not here tonight because he doesn't want the credit for it.
He doesn't.
He really doesn't.
And he's a little tired. He is so amazing, and the effort is amazing. And there's so many people that go through and get organized in all those little towns across our area. There's so much that goes into it. Morning, noon, and night, you saw crowds of people gathering. Amazing community. One of our individuals, one of our managers at WNEP, Dave Lewandowski, did so much work putting a lot of this together. We want to say thank you to him because he is a creative force behind this, and we really appreciate what he did to
He
put
went
it together.
above and beyond.
He did.
He really did. A tremendous amount of research. It shows his love for St. Joe's and his love for northeastern and central Pennsylvania to make sure every place we hit would respond so generously. So thank you, Dave.
Jackie, that's your husband, and he did so
That
much
brings
work.
tears to my eyes. Thank you so much for recognizing him. He's really I have to say he loves St. Joe's. That's why he does it. And we have to say also that thank God for St. Joe's in our community. What a pride in our community that what you do for all these kids and the residents and their families. So, and thank you to my colleagues because I'm in awe of you all the time. It's amazing what you do, and thank you for everybody who donates because it's a beautiful thing we have going here, don't we?
Yeah, we're lucky. Yeah.
Collective good. The collective good, really, because everyone gives what they can, and something very magical and overwhelming comes from that.
And then it was done. A moment of relief, a moment of joy, and a moment of mutual respect. When the chips are down, northeastern and central Pennsylvania comes through in the best way. We at WNEP appreciate each and every one of you. Because of you, many lives are better. On behalf of all of us here at WNEP, on the road and behind the scenes, thank you, and see you next year. Go Joe.